Hello, friends. Welcome to Bible Words. I'm Pastor Dave. Hey, thanks for tuning in this week as we answer a very, very important personal question about living life God's way. This week's question is, how do you find a good life partner? Wow. Is that ever the question on the mind of almost every young adult in their 20s? Statistics on long-term marriage in American culture is not that promising, which is why more and more folks choose not to get married. Evidently, the popular thinking is that just living together without marriage, thus keeping one's long-term options open, is the best answer to our question. But I'll just try one out, one life partner at a time until I find a good one. That's what they think. Unfortunately, that works out worse in real life than marriage does. The net result has been one fatherless generation of children giving birth to the next fatherless generation of children. No, I don't believe popular culture has the answer we're really looking for in regards to life partners. I believe the wisdom we're looking for is going to be found in God's Bible words. Actually, there's a couple of passages that come to my mind as we answer this question of finding someone who's going to be a good life partner. That implies an intentional search is being made by the person who's asking the question, which is indeed what's required. The question is, what should one look for in a good mate? Well, our culture pushes us to focus exclusively on physical attraction alone. And while it's true that beauty is found in the eye of the beholder, so obviously the chemistry of attraction is a powerful force that we would expect to be part of every budding relationship. I understand that certainly. But God would caution us against making such attraction the foundation of our relationship. You ask why? Well, the reason's obvious. In terms of masculine strength or feminine beauty, we all fade like flowers with time. In speaking of the ideal woman, Solomon put it this way in Proverbs 31. He said, "Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain. But a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands and let her works praise her in the gates." Folks, the simple truth is long-term life commitment is not based on the chemistry of physical attraction. It's based on the compatibility of personal agreement. That's important to remember. In fact, the Old Testament minor prophet Amos gives us our answer by asking us to answer this common sense question for ourselves. He's asked, can two walk together unless they're in agreement? Well, the answer is no, of course not. That initial chemistry of attraction we thought was so powerful that even wild horses will never pull us apart. You know what? That fades over time. And remember, because opposites attract, what once was so attractive to us about the other person, after a time living under the same roof, begins to irritate us. And if differences are not handled biblically, in love, then differences eventually divide us. Irritation ultimately becomes a verbal attack in one form or another. You need to change. You need to cook this like my mother does, or my father always did household chores this way, not your way, etc., etc., etc. See, the world has a phrase for this life dynamic. Familiarity breeds contempt. The longer you're with the same person, the more common they become to you, and the more likely it is you'll look for things about them that bug you. In the business world, we call this buyer's remorse. So how does one break this common life cycle? By finding a good life partner. Well, without sounding too old-fashioned or corny, here's another wisdom saying the world has. Birds of a feather flock together. The question that you need to answer is not how do you find a good life partner. The real question that needs to be answered is how do you become a good life partner yourself? Because you're going to find that you're going to be attracted to someone like yourself, that person's looking for you. So remember, Solomon praised the ideal woman as one who worshiped God, which speaks to spiritual character. And that thought gives us really significant insight. You see, it's spiritual character, not sexual chemistry, that ensures lifelong compatibility in the social covenant of marriage. So maybe the best step you can take instead of finding a good mate is first focus on finding a godly mission you can serve God's purpose for your life. Why? Well, listening to Amos, he said, who's agreed in walking with you in that life direction? They probably have a similar spiritual character as you if you find someone who's going along. And that's a great place to at least begin your search. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Send me your questions. I'm eager to see how Bible Words might answer it. Take care. See you next week.